Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So a lot of people have been asking me, Working Money, are you happy with your stack? Are you buying more XRP? Are you buying any other cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, what have you? Are you interested in anything else? And I tell them there's always an opportunity to buy more. You have to have cash on the side. Now, guys, this isn't financial advice. Do not buy more cryptocurrency if you haven't paid your bills, if you haven't fed your family. Do the responsible thing always, first and foremost. But then I was getting questions, well, where are your price targets? When the market dips again, we're already seeing a rally. We saw a dip back during mid-March after the pandemic really hit and the economy essentially shut down. And now the market's right back up again, guys. So I have Bitcoin here on the daily, and I just kind of wanted to show you guys what my plan is if the market does indeed dip again. Now I have cash on the side, and I'm ready for a rally. My positions are already fairly chunky, but again, there's always an opportunity to buy. And I'm just going to demonstrate this to you with regards to Bitcoin, and then we'll get into XRP in a sec. So first we saw that downtrend, then we saw a rally up. And guys, to me, this is looking like this $10,500 mark is going to be difficult to puncture. Now, like I said before, this is Bitcoin on the daily. And we have seen this a few times, trying to get past this mark, up, down, up, down, up. And then yesterday, or a couple of days ago now, we saw a significant move down for Bitcoin. It's not looking like we're going to puncture this. So my thought is we are going to move to the downside. Now, the reason I say that is because buyers and sellers are really finding their equilibrium. Eventually, sellers will get exhausted, but I personally still think there is a ways to go. And so where is Bitcoin going to fall in that level of demand? And so demand usually falls into former demand zones. And so I'm really simplifying this for you guys here. Here's a zone here where we found an equilibrium between buyers and sellers before an uptrend, after a downtrend. And I am creating a very, very wide zone here because Bitcoin is volatile, and therefore I will make my zones, my demand zones or supply zones, wider. I will use tops of wicks, bottoms of tails to create a zone. So this would suggest that the zone would be anywhere between 6,400, give or take. I'm not giving you the exact numbers. I'm rounding them off just for simplicity. And 7,800. So 6,400 to 7,800. Well, that's a very, very wide margin. So I'm just going to pick somewhere right here in the middle, 7,100. So for this example, if Bitcoin goes to 7,100, I would buy some. I have a buy order in now. That's where I'm happy purchasing Bitcoin today. This could change, though, depending on how the chart moves, depending on what happens if we see a swing upwards. But for now, 7,100 is where I'm happy for a Bitcoin buy order. Now, guys, with regards to XRP, we know that this doesn't translate exactly the same. But if we even saw XRP follow Bitcoin, because we know they're all following Bitcoin, I don't even really need to plot this on the chart. What I think is if Bitcoin does go to 7,100, we will see XRP somewhere down and around here, probably 14, 15 cents. I would set a buy order down in this level of demand because it falls directly into a level of demand before, after a downtrend, before an uptrend. 15 cents, I'd be happy with that. But at this time, we're splitting hairs, 15 cents, 15.5, 16 cents. At the end of the day, so long as you can cost average down your position, so long as you know how much money you've put in to any said cryptocurrency and know the average price that you've paid for that cryptocurrency, that's ultimately what you need to know, or what you should know, in order to sleep well at night. So I hope that gives you guys some food for thought as to where my head is at. 15 cents for XRP, I'm happy with that, at least at this moment. And 7,100 for BTC, somewhere in between the top end and the bottom end of this level of demand, this wide level of demand for Bitcoin, using tops of wicks and bottoms of tails. So anyway, guys, not financial advice, just letting you know what's on my mind. I saw this tweet here. It was originally sent to me by Val5Links on Twitter, and it was tweeted by Imbiagi1 here on Twitter. And this with regards to, I know some of you guys probably saw this yesterday, Ripple's major partner warns of scammers stealing bank customers' data through the Line app. So Ripple partner, the major commercial Thai bank, SCB, warns that scammers are using the Line app to steal its customers' personal data and funds by making fake accounts. So it looks as though this is just affecting Thai customers from the Siam Commercial Bank. So they have warned their customers that scammers have now adopted a new way of stealing their personal data via the popular Japanese messaging app Line. So for those of you guys using that particular app in that part of the world, I don't know if it's available over here. Just be wary that some of your personal data may have been exposed. And guys, this is always why I say keep your cryptocurrency safe. I use a Ledger Nano. I have a couple of them. Guys, if you don't have one, there's an affiliate link in the description. You can use it if you want. You do not have to use it if you do not want to use it, but they always have promotions. Don't know if they're having one right now. For multiple ledgers, you can get upwards of 20% off if you buy multiples. So something to think about if you want to keep your cryptocurrency safe, especially in this bull market. I always say, because the ledger is only about $100. I think even actually less than that. If you have more than $100 invested in cryptocurrency, get a ledger, especially if you put in $100 today when the market's depressed and you plan on seeing it 5x, 10x, 20x, 50x. Remember guys, those numbers are not unrealistic. Keep your cryptocurrency safe. Make sure you have it in cold storage. If they are not your keys, they are not your crypto. Real XRP Boy here on Twitter posted this. So apparently this has to do with the Bitfinex Tether lawsuit. So Amended lawsuit filed against Bitfinex and Tether for allegedly manipulating the crypto market. Bittrex and Poloniex added to new defendants. So there was some shady business going on here with Bitfinex and Tether. Also something to be wary of, because I know in the past we've talked about securing profits in Tether, the stablecoin. But beware, guys. So a revised lawsuit has been filed against Bitfinex and Tether and affiliate entities for allegedly manipulating the crypto market. Bittrex and Poloniex exchanges have been added to the new defendants in the amended lawsuit. The lawsuit claims that the defendants fraudulently inflated crypto prices and caused billions of dollars of damage for traders. So it looks as though the amendment is just the fact that Bittrex and Poloniex have been added as new defendants to the lawsuit filed on June 3rd. And guys, I will link this description here if you want to know more about that lawsuit. Thought it was interesting though, because, you know, we're ramping up for a bull run, like I keep saying. And this thing can move in a matter of hours, days. We could see sky high prices, hundreds of percentage point increases in a matter of days. So this thing can move fast and furiously. Be sure you are using a trusted exchange. Make sure you are using, or rather make sure you have a plan. If you do plan on exiting via a stablecoin, do some research. There are a lot of stablecoins out there, and now they're starting to create stablecoins tied to other fiat currencies, not just the USD. That might be an option for some of you guys as well. Nevertheless, protect your crypto and just make sure you are doing the right thing for you. DJ Peter Vass here on Twitter posted this. So we did a video yesterday about Brazil and their backdoor deal with, well, we don't know if it was a deal or not. Their backdoor meeting they had with Ripple. Look at how long it takes Western Union to send money to Brazil. That's why Ripple is there to save the day. And so Peter Vass 6 here on Twitter posted this: how to send money to Brazil at the best exchange rates. And we have TransferWise here, a recommended partner. Still costs $15 and 1 to 2 days. Ria Money Transfer, which is fast, $8 in minutes. TransFast, which is 1 to 3 days, and Western Union, the slowest option, $5, 4 to 6 days. So Western Union really needing to step up their game here. And, you know, we heard about the news, was it yesterday? No, it was 2 days ago that Western Union put in a bid to buy MoneyGram. Now, we don't know what the outcome is of that yet. It was just a bid. It was just a proposal. I'm sure you know, it was listed somewhere that wasn't even supposed to be a deal that was supposed to be made public. The person who leaked that information wanted to remain anonymous. Anyway, interesting to see, but we do know Ripple already working on corridors in Latin America, Brazil, a big economy in South America. So just some information here with regards to remittances. Thanks so much, DJ Peter Vass on Twitter, for posting that. This next one here was posted by Michael. Val5 Links on Twitter. And he posted this. So we've been hearing about the ISO 20022 initiative being pushed back. And now the Federal Reserve kicks Fedwire's ISO 20022 can down the road. So the Federal Reserve has announced it will not implement phase 1 of the Fedwire fund service migration to ISO 20022 during 2020 or 2021. So we are going to have to wait till what sounds like 2022 in order for this to initially engage. So in September 2019, the Federal Reserve, the Fed, announced its plans to delay and reassess a phased implementation strategy in favor of a single-day implementation known as a Big Bang approach, also being taken in Europe. So they are going to implement things all at once. The Fed notes the discussions around the change have considered cross-border interoperability issues that may occur if the Federal Reserve banks and other high-value payment system operators have not implemented the ISO 20022 messaging standard by the time SWIFT enables its participants to start sending data-rich ISO 20022 messages over its global network. So a Big Bang approach, guys, that means everything is going to be implemented in one day. And we know they're talking about cross-border interoperability, XRP, a perfect digital asset for that. And this has got a lot of people wondering, if XRP is implemented in this one-day Big Bang implementation, will we see XRP rise because of demand? Now, this is the high in the last bull run, and it only reached $3.30. We are waiting for a Bitcoin bull run now, which could bring XRP a lot higher than this. Could you imagine if trillions, no, not trillions, quadrillions of dollars were running through XRP once a Big Bang implementation occurs with ISO 20022 integration? Now, it has been pushed back, but that's not to say that we're not halfway there, especially if you've been in the space since 2018, because it looks as though it might happen in 2022. So the Fed adds that discussions have also addressed the impact of SWIFT's decision to delay its migration to the new messaging standard by 12 months to November 2022, with the ECB having to step in and enforce measures to mitigate the delay's impact. So there are delays, but they are looking to just do it all in one fell swoop. Thanks so much, Michael at Val5Links on Twitter, for posting that. I know, it seems like 2022 is still so far away, but look at how far we've come. Think about when you guys got into the crypto space. Think about how excited you were, how rosy you were feeling in 2018, when XRP had all this promising news going for it, and the price just kept going. Do you guys remember when XRP was still over $1, but it was on decline when it was in January, February? I remember I was on a trip around February 2018, and XRP had gone from 73 cents all the way up past $1 again, this uptick here. And I thought to myself, this could be promising. We're hearing some great news coming out of Ripple. And at that time, I was thinking to myself, well, the news, that's what's really going to help XRP push upward. Well, boy, was I and so many others wrong. Anyway, don't want to dwell on the past, want to look towards the future, and this is the future, guys. XRP integration into the financial system. We know all the partnerships Ripple has. We know what's going on. We know about interoperability, cross-border interoperability, as they're mentioning here, and XRP is positioned perfectly to solve for that issue. Mac Attack here on Twitter posted this. Ripple partner FSS integrates Samsung Pay Card to its e-commerce gateway. So interesting news here. We know Ripple is partnered with FSS, and they've integrated Samsung Pay Cards as part of the enhancement of its e-commerce payment gateway. According to the digital payment technology provider, the new updates added to its e-commerce platform was required to provide added value and capabilities in line with the latest technologies. Some of the updates to the e-commerce gateway include low-cost digital payments, acceptance tools for merchants such as QR codes, link payments, and pay buttons. Merchants can also embed a pay button on their website to generate a quick response, a QR code, or a payment link that can be sent via email, SMS, or WhatsApp to its customers to accept online payments. Guys, the future is here for payments, and whether we see the crypto on the front end or the back end, we know blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies are being used, will be used in a more important way for the future of payments than it has in the past. Bitcoin strive to change the world. It has failed. It has made a lot of people rich along the way, but essentially it has failed in terms of being a reliable payments mechanism. Enter Ripple and the XRP cryptocurrency. They strove to make XRP the cryptocurrency that could solve for this problem, that banks could integrate with. They were going to be completely transparent, completely compliant with all the regulations, and sure enough, they have succeeded. XRP is like the Bitcoin 2.0, and we're seeing more and more integration with different companies, more partnerships with big banks, financial institutions, and governments worldwide, not to mention important bodies like the IMF, the World Bank, all looking towards Ripple for an answer, and it seems as though Ripple is delivering. I saw this, guys, from the XRP Arcade. So this is from Leonidas. XRP Toolkit version 2 connects with the XRPL, DEX, and some. So Toho Labs was a Swedish startup, and it was part of, or rather Spring had invested in it, and the Toho Labs team was behind the launch of the XRP Toolkit, which enabled users to manage their keys and execute any transaction type on the XRPL. And now there's an update for that. So there was a plan released to update to the XR. Sorry, there was a plan released to an update for the XRP Toolkit so that users can enjoy a trustless, non-custodial XRP Ledger web interface support for all 17 XRP Ledger transaction types and complete hardware wallet support. So this move could add a transaction type to leading hardware wallets, including the Ledger Nano S, the Ledger Nano X, and the Trezor T. XRP Toolkit version 2, a little more than half a year away, so it gives a little bit of history on that. Here's the tweet with regards to the update. Version 2 is now available from XRP Toolkit on Twitter. Connect using your Sum wallet. So if you guys have a Sum wallet, you can now connect to this, send payments, create escrows, and trade a wide selection of assets on the XRP Ledger's decentralized exchange. So there's also a Coil post down here from Marcus Alvila, founder of the Toho Labs, and he explains all about the new toolkit. With the new toolkit, you can do a whole bunch of this stuff. So the Coil post is linked in this article, guys. I will link this article in the description if you want to read more about that. We also got XRP Yoda here on Twitter at XRP Yoda. And guys, this is great news. Hester Peirce is nominated for a second term as SEC Commissioner. So this from theblockcrypto.com. Hester Peirce nominated for second term as SEC Commissioner. And why this is important, guys, is because she's cryptocurrency friendly. So Hester Peirce, a U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Commissioner, has been nominated for another term, according to Bloomberg. The outlet said that Peirce has been nominated for a second term by President Donald Trump, citing the White House. Her current term expires on June 5th. Confirmation of this new term for Peirce must come from the U.S. Senate, which confirms nomination for key federal officials. Peirce first took office in January 2018. Peirce has won plaudits from cryptocurrency advocates for her public dissent when the SEC shot down past efforts to create and list exchange-traded funds tied to Bitcoin. Earlier this year, though, Peirce proposed a safe harbor period that would give cryptocurrency startups more time to comply with the SEC's security laws. Guys, she's the one we want to have on board in the United States because she is cryptocurrency friendly, obviously looking to give cryptocurrency startups that have good intentions more time to become compliant if they weren't already. This is an ideology of somebody who wants cryptocurrency regulations to pass, who doesn't want all cryptocurrencies to be painted with one brush. And so to have her at the helm in the United States for another term is quintessential to move cryptocurrency adoption along. Now, I didn't see it in this article, but there was another article stating that her term was going to be extended to, I believe, 2025. So that gives us another 5 years for more developments to occur, more cryptocurrency adoption to occur. It would give these other cryptocurrency startups more time to comply with SEC regulations as well, so that the world can have a robust cryptocurrency ecosystem to thrive in. It starts in the United States, one of the biggest economies in the world, well, the biggest, next to China. And we know what China's doing. We know how important China is on the world stage for all the reasons we talk about. And the United States needs to keep up. The United States, a very important trading partner with the rest of the world. So cryptocurrency regulations is going to be quintessential for the United States to remain that way. So it's great news to hear Hester Peirce back on the board until 2025. Now, don't quote me on that. I think I saw that in another article. If anybody can confirm that, please do put it in the comments section. But again, I'll link this article if you guys want to refer to that. And I wanted to talk about this yesterday, but this from XRP Crypto Wolf, the Great Reset. And I'm surprised that Kristalina Georgieva actually called it out by name. The Great Reset. So yeah, she's from the IMF and calls what we are going through now the Great Reset. Remarks on the Economic Forum, Kristalina Georgieva, managing director of the IMF. So she thanks a few people before she starts her speech. So she says, now is the time to think about what history would say about the crisis. And now is the time for all of us to define our own role. Will historians look back and say, this was the moment of a great reversal? Today, we see very worrying signs. 170 countries are going to finish this year with a smaller economy than at the start of the year. And we already project that there will be more debt, bigger deficits, and more unemployment. And there is a very high risk of more inequality and more poverty. Now, If you guys are doing all right yourselves and you have jobs and you live in the United States or another country where your economy at one point was more robust, then maybe you're not too worried about inequality and poverty and all this other jazz that she's talking about here. But this is all tied together, guys, especially if we want cryptocurrencies like XRP to thrive. So from the perspective of the IMF, we have seen a massive injection of fiscal stimulus to help countries deal with the crisis and to shift gears for growth to return. It is of paramount importance that this growth should lead to a greener, smarter, fairer world in the future. So interesting that they highlight greener, smarter, and fairer world. All things that XRP can deliver: greener, a better technology that doesn't consume a lot of energy; smarter, it was created to solve for the problems that Bitcoin could not solve for; and fairer, it was also created to level the playing field. So it is possible to do this provided we concentrate on the key elements of a recovery and act now. We don't need to wait. At the IMF, we see some tremendous opportunities. So first, they talk about green growth, job recovery, many and investments in low carbon, climate resilient growth. They talk about that. So that can be attributed to XRP. It's not specific to XRP, but it certainly is putting a check in XRP's column. Many of these investments can lead to job-rich recovery. Think of planting mangrove. Okay, so she gives some examples here. Second, though, is what I really wanted to touch on. This is really important. Second, let me talk about smarter growth. We know the digital economy, she points out, is the big winner of this crisis, but we must not allow the digital divide to widen so that some countries and communities fall further behind. This would bring more pain than gain in the future. So it is critical that institutions like the IMF support investments that will shrink the digital divide, working in partnership with the World Bank and others. We also need to think carefully about how we make sure the jump in growth and profitability in the digital sector leads to benefits that are shared across our societies. Even before she mentioned this, even before the pandemic hit, we have to remember what XRP was positioned to do. Create a level playing field, democratize payments, allow anybody to use it, being put on the XRPL, it's open source. So essentially allow small companies to compete with bigger companies for cross-border remittance payments in one specific facet, but also looking at the verticals towards the future. Brad Garlinghouse mentioning Ripple is looking to target so many more verticals, and this whole idea of a great reset, a new economy is going to come out of technologies like RippleNet utilizing XRP. Also, just another example, I don't know if you guys remember, the fact that smaller banks used to have to pay fees to larger tier 1 banks in order to access their Nostro and Vostro accounts if one of their clients, the smaller bank's clients, needed to make a cross-border transfer, and the smaller bank may not have had the resources to fulfill their order. Well, now they can get on RippleNet, they can use XRP to source that liquidity, and that whole tier 1, tier 3 system is no longer going to exist. So democratizing payments, and this essentially is just going to benefit the end user, the customers. This ultimately will result in fairer growth, she says. We know that if left to its own devices, the pandemic is going to deepen inequality. That has happened in prior pandemics. She talks more about investing in the social fabric of societies, access to community, so on and so forth. But income inequality and a level playing field. Money is what really, really rules the world, and it looks as though the IMF is suggesting that a great reset is upon us, and that they are going to work towards making this new digital economy fair for everyone. And the best part is we know they have the tools to implement this. Ripple and XRP, there to save the day. Finally, guys, wanted to mention this tweet here from Martin Volk. And Martin always sends me some great stuff. He says, personally, I've reached my XRP targets, meaning how much XRP he wants to accumulate. And I'm currently working on doing the same for other cryptos. As I continue to hodl my XRP, people never give that as an option in a poll, so I thought I would. What stage are you currently in? Are you selling your XRP, waiting for a lower price, buying every chance I get, satisfied with what I have? And Dan Ralph says at these prices you have to buy. Martin suggests, though, that that's not always the case. If you have 1 million XRP, you might be happy if it goes to $1 or $5 or $10, and you don't necessarily need to wait for $100 or $1,000. So do you guys want to accumulate more? Do you have 1 million XRP? Maybe you do. Do you have 100,000 XRP? I don't want to know how much you have, but If you are in the 0.1% or the 1% or the 2% or wherever, think about it yourself. I know for me, I'm always looking to accumulate more. As I had mentioned at the beginning of this video, my plan is to accumulate more XRP if it goes to roughly 15 cents. That's to say if we see a Bitcoin drop of the same magnitude. I personally want to ride the Bitcoin wave, cash out some XRP on the next bull run, save some for real world utility. But anyways, I'll leave this Martin Volk tweet here. Guys, vote on his poll. And I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.